All right, we are back. And now we are going to get into really what's our favorite portion of our Prism View segment.
Mm-hmm.
The B sides, the early eras, the title tracks, their sound, their journey, everything in between. So just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a backstory. BTS is actually Bangtan
Da da
Sonyeondan.
da.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
BTS standing for Bulletproof Boy Scouts. That's
And
their
we
name. That's their
was.
term.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit on their backstory. They were originally designed as a hip hop boy group, um, and they debuted in 2013, but they were formed in 2010 under Big Hit, which is part of Hive. Um, so Big Hit CEO Bang Si-hyuk,
Mm-hmm.
that's his name. What y'all call him?
Yeah.
Bang PD?
Yeah. Producer,
Okay,
director,
him.
bang. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure, there you go. He wanted a hip hop group. Physical album sales were on decline and digital revenue were not cutting it at the time of the company. So, to diversify their income streams, he built an idol group, which would then go on to be BTS. Um, their music is centered around mental health, coming of age troubles, loss, journey to self discovery, individualism, and the price of fame. Very heavy. Very heavy. They are very much known for taking on topics that were taboo to talk about in South Korean society and talked a lot about expressions of rebellion against the places that affected teen frustrations and the country's educational system. That is a direct quote from scholar Kyung Kyung. The
Mm-hmm.
expression of rebellion against the places that affected teen frustrations and the country's educational system. Um, BTS in 2017 had crossed over into the global music market at the forefront of the Korean wave into the US. They were named the International Federation of Phonographic Industry's Global Recording Artist of the Year in 2020 and 2021. They are dubbed the Princes of Pop and the Princes of Next Gen and Next Gen leaders on Times International covers, and in 2018 became the youngest to receive the Order of Cultural Merit for their contributions in spreading the Korean culture and language around the world. Uh, very, very heavy accolades, heavy journey, heavy message do BTS carry. I'm not going to hold you. When I was reading all of that, I was impressed, but I already knew most of that about BTS because their accolades these days do speak before them. But I also more so felt, damn, that's heavy. Not gonna hold you. I was like, wow, that's heavy. That's a
Mm-hmm.
heavy weight to carry. Not just in the accolades and the stuff that they accomplished, the formation of a group as a whole. We ain't making no money, so y'all gonna have to be it.
Y'all gonna
Surprise!
have to come in here and make money. And we ain't got a lot of money for you to
Surprise!
do it with.
And we ain't got a lot of money for you to do it with. Surprise! That's oh my god. And then the undertone of their message, of their songs, being the first to talk about anything sucks. And in a society that is very traditional, yo, like I say a lot of times, the reason I like Korean culture and I guess Asian culture as a whole is because a lot of it mimics Black culture. And I don't mean just in music, I mean in the household. Because mind you,
We
my
don't
first
talk about stuff that
introduction,
go on in our house. We keep it at the table.
what happens in this house stays in this house. And when you go
Mm-hmm.
outside them doors, you find no faults. My mama was big on that. My mama would get the best compliments out of me and my younger brother. Your children are so well mannered, so well behaved. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They're so well spoken. And we were, and we were. We were also frightened of my mama. And I don't mean
Mm-hmm.
that in the like, oh my God, she was beating us from head to toe. But I knew my mama was not one of my little friends and I knew not to play with her. And I also knew not to embarrass her when I went out into other people's streets and she didn't have to beat me to get the point across.
You knew the
I was
saying.
just afraid. In the most loving and respectful way, I was just afraid. So a lot of those experiences you don't see across a lot of different places. And when you do, there's always something very different. I don't know. I be looking at my cousins over there in them Asian waters, and I'm like, yeah, y'all mama is throwing shoes at y'all head. I get that.
Almost too.
Us too. Y'all can't go outside and talk about what's going. Nah, neither. Mental health, what? Okay. You depressed? Go depress them dishes. Go depress that room. What? I mean, it's joke. It's funny to talk about, and it's something we can laugh at and older. But when you think about it,
Kids don't get
damn,
stressed. I
no.
used to hate when my mama said that to me. What you
What you
stressed
stress
about?
for?
You a kid.
You don't pay no bills.
My God, I'm going through. What do you mean? Being born to you is why I'm stressed. But listen,
But and then not only experiencing those things, but then being the first to actually really talk about it. We talk about how wonderful it is for people to do those sorts of things because then they create these rooms and pockets for people that are going through that to feel heard, seen, acknowledged. Damn, somebody gets it, right? On the other side, you got society in itself that don't want you talking about it, and we don't even really touch on that.
and we also never touch on really
Being the first to do that
what
for
but
myself.
being the first to do it, because yeah, it's cool now everyone's for mental health and we're talking about it. Look how vulnerable they are, and we are giving parades, ribbons, and trophies. But when you are the first one to step out of line,
Hmm.
ass is grass.
Correct,
you,
because we be in our rooms. Oh my God, they're just so vulnerable. They over having 12-hour company meetings on why the hell did you get up there and say that? You know you're
Mhm.
not supposed to be talking about that. You know we don't want you doing that. What did you?
That is
And then the
inappropriate.
tabloids,
Yeah.
the elders, the critics, some praise, yes. How many others were sitting there talking? Nah, they cook, they wash, they good. We don't support none of that at all. Because what you talking? What are we doing here? You know that's
Why
not
are
how
you
we do
saying
things.
that? We're supposed to
Correct.
be prideful in
Correct.
what's going on over here, and you're
Correct.
talking against the agenda. Cut them. Cut them.
Loose. Yeah, correct. So just to give that bit of a backstory for them and to talk about that, because we are about to get into songs, title tracks, B-sides, all that good stuff that we love. And you
Hmm.
gave me a list of songs to listen to in conjunction with some of the songs that I already heard. But I really did take your list to heart because when I got my first list, I got it from people who knew BTS's music, were BTS fans, and liked a lot of BTS stuff. But you are my direct window into Army, to be honest. I didn't get my first list from nobody who claimed to be Army. I did not.
Oh
Getting
wow.
a list of songs from someone who is actually Army, it hits different because you're looking at it from an emotional, respective standpoint, in my opinion, and invested time and energy. You could be a
Hmm.
listener and a lover of music, but invested time and energy hits different. Um, so I very much took to heart your list above the songs that I liked of my own, and even went back to listen to the songs I liked to see like, did I really like those songs or do I like these more? Like, I like to do that type of stress to myself. But I will start us off with our group with our question. Most groups don't start iconic, they start honest. How do you feel BTS started? Did they start iconic? Did they start honest? Was it a mixture of both? Did they grow into one or the other? How do you feel in terms of their music?
They was a little too honest, and they should have dialed it back just a tad. Um, when I say Bang really let June and Yoongi cook, and I said they put a little bit too much sauce on. Like, please get them out the kitchen, because it was very uh, just too. They pulled back too much of the cover, and then on
Mm,
top of that, because they were truly hip hop heads, they linked. I like it. Actually, I loved it when I went back to the earlier stuff. they leaned a little too hip hop, too urban, and
Mm,
I think honestly that's one of the reasons why they had such a hard time
mm.
taking off. But they was too honest. I wanted them to put a filter over it. Take a couple of the just please guys. But that's how I feel. Go
So
ahead.
let me ask this. So you because you spoke about them being too hip hop, too urban, and we know that they had the American Hustle life stints in their growth and things like that. And I'm not gonna get too much into all that, but I do want to touch on it because you made the statement of honesty, hip hop, urban, and that's probably why they didn't take off in the beginning. Do you feel like it was genuine or it was a form of, I don't want to say cosplay, but maybe admiration dressed up that then needed to evolve into something a little bit more genuine and more self-reflective? Because you can be honest and loud,
Hmm.
and you can be honest and intentional. Loud and intentional are not always the same thing. So do you feel like maybe that's what it was? They were honest and loud, and then they grew into being honestly intentional?
One of my
Because they
granddaddy's
ain't never
favorite.
stopped being honest.
No, they never stopped being honest. I feel like my granddaddy always used to say the roads of hell are paved in good intention. I feel like because being one of the hip hop group, he was able to find members who understood hip hop and the hip hop scene, but only three of the seven
Correct. Yeah.
understood hip hop. So we got June, Yoongi, and Hope, the rap line. And then Hope was not a rapper, he was a b-boy. So adjacent, still not a rapper. He learned to rap while being a trainee. So I feel like while those three understood the spirit of hip hop, the other four did not. And somebody got to go to boot camp because these three and even the people in the garage, because they wasn't in no high rise and no office, the people in the garage, they are Korean. They don't really understand hip hop culture. They're getting it off of TRL and BET,
Right.
looking on Google. So
Yeah.
I felt like that was a crash course to bring not only the other four boys up to speed, but the company as well.
Yeah.
Because if we want them to truly be hip hop, they have to understand the foundation. So we're gonna drop them off and give them the 3 week course.
But again, do you think they started off honest and loud and then grew to be honest and intentional?
Group
Correct.
or
In their music.
no, they were always intentional. I
Okay.
think always intentional.
Okay. Period. All right. Well, then getting into some of these tracks. Go ahead, give us your list. Your BTS B-sides title tracks list. Which ones stand out to you the most? And this is a little different because I legit just found out that you didn't listen to the same list I listened to. You gave me a listen and you did your own thing. So
Listen,
I can't even be like what which one stuck out to you the most?
well, you can do that because I know the music.
All right,
Um,
fine. Based off the list you
yeah,
gave me, which B-sides and title tracks stuck out to you the most?
my favorite from the list that I gave you, dope. The early ones, right? We're only doing the early
Mm.
ones.
Mm,
So dope.
whichever ones were on the list.
I separated them between early and late. So dope is one of the title tracks that are will always stick with me. Anytime I hear it, I am going to dance.
Hmm.
Fire, blood, sweat, and tears is because that's how I met them. Spring Day. Those are my title tracks that I'm running through hell to grab up. You will not burn them. They're not going to the underground. Early B side that will have me spinning the block. House of Cards, spinning the block on a stripper pole, even though it's not a strip anthem. Um, Bapse Silver Spoon. and Dead Leaves are some of my
Mm.
favorite early B-sides. Later B-sides, baby, anything. The most beautiful moment in life and anything on wings. Call me home, Jesus. Because when I say those boys were in their bag, Blue and Gray is one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about Blue and Gray. And I actually want them to line it up and fight. Um, but yeah, those are mine.
I love
What
that.
about you?
Yeah, so like I said, I went based off of your list and then I went back and listened to my list because I
Mhm.
had songs that I liked that weren't on the list. Actually, before I get into mine, what songs would you have put on this list from songs you like that weren't on this list? Because you said you went and just listened to other stuff. So did you have any that in particular you were like,
Coffee would have definitely been on the list. Coffee would have definitely, baby. Oh, listen, listen, listen. I was like, oh, you talking about ice? Caramel macchiato? Um, anything from the rap line. Any cipher besides, well, I'm not going to say, I'm going to say it because I'm Army. I don't care. Fight me in the comments. Every cipher besides one, I feel like one, they were just playing around, getting their feet wet. But every cipher after, masterpiece to me. Um, second grade from Dark and Wild, second grade. Just go listen to it. Um, I'm going through my favorites of the BTS. My City is one of my favorites off of the most beautiful moment in life. Um, Also Converse High. The beef and the lore that that song started in our fandom is crazy.
what's the beef in the lore?
Everybody swore J Hope stole Namjoon's girlfriend, and I was like, please.
Wait a second.
The beef and the lore that came and Ruby don't even like the girl. She's trash dog water to him. He got somebody else. He don't even want no parts of her. Um, Women 52, girl, I can go on for days. We have so many songs.
Wanted to get a couple. I just wanted to get because I
Oh,
have
oh,
some on my list that weren't a part of this list. But like I go to war behind them. Like I
oh,
actually do
if you say
really
butter,
fool with them.
okay.
I'm going to say butter. I don't understand why we keep doing this with butter. Me and butter go together real bad. I make no secrets about it. Smooth like butter. That's my song. That song is dripped in joy, and I need joy. Life sucks enough. Um, so from the list you gave me, starting off first one, the title track "Danger," exceptional. I
Mhm.
loved that. Um, Another title track I love, "Run." Anyone that had like the little butterfly, I guess, on the album, yeah, I
Yeah,
like that. I like that. I was like, ooh, because at first I was like, "Run" and then "Run" BTS. Like, is this like
they're totally different. No,
and they were totally different. And but
yes,
I'm just looking at them and I'm like, why is one run and one run BTS? Like, is this like a continuation? The extended version? No, two totally separate songs.
we have
So
Run,
Run and
Run
Danger.
BTS, and BTS Run. Though, like, it's a lot of running. We've been
I
running
don't
our
get
whole
it.
life.
I swear. So yeah, Danger and Run were probably my favorites off of the earliest comebacks that you gave
Hmm.
me. And then going into the early B sides, Rain, absolutely stunning. Um, I'm with you. Dead Leaves, beautiful. Um, I want to say that was it for the early B sides, and then of course Butter. I go with Butter real bad. That's my song. Um, Getting into the later stuff though, Microcosmos off rip will always be one of the most celebrated songs. One of my more celebrated. It feels like a celebration.
Mhm.
Microcosmos does. I remember the first time I heard it. It was actually one of the songs that was already downloaded on my playlist because I
Really?
already, yeah, someone had already recommended Microcosmos and Pied Piper to me. So I had known those songs already. I love the hell out of those songs. There's so much, there's something light about them, but
Mhm.
also it feels like it tells a story. And also it's really just, I feel like there's a celebration going on somewhere and those songs are playing. So I really love Microcosmos. I really like Pied Piper, but Microcosmos is always top for me. Um, Louder Than Bombs. Stunning. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. I heard that song and I said, well, where the hell was this months ago when I asked somebody to give me a BTS recommendation? Had we started with some of these, maybe I would be telling a different tale today. Maybe. Louder
Maybe.
Than Blue and Gray. Beautiful. I think out of all the songs you recommended to me, Blue and Gray is probably my favorite, and then Danger and then Rain. Not gonna
I
hold you.
really wish I would
Those
have
those were beautiful.
recommended Well in 52 and then Pluto, but those are
If
songs I
I'm
love.
feeling like a friend, I might go listen to them just off of our friendship. But I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Blue and Gray though is just is stunning. That was good. Like I really liked that one. And then of course Run BTS. Run Bullet please. Run I
Run,
that eats. That eats.
run, run.
Not gonna hold you. That eats. When they did that in concert, I was like, okay, yeah, I like that for real. Now, songs that I like that were a part of this list. Uh, and of course, wait, let me say it again. Butter. I just felt like mentioning it one more time because that's my song. I don't care. That's my song. Uh,
I'm not even looking
like
at you right now.
the song "Like" by BTS. I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If someone had recommended that song to me at the beginning of my journey and said, "This is BTS," I probably would have been a lot more invested in their music than later, so much later, because I don't know. Actually, I do. The groove of
Mhm.
that song. That song feels so soulful, beautiful, sensual. Yo, June voice alone.
June voice gonna get you. I was gonna say
Not
something
June's
inappropriate.
voice alone. My God in heaven. I love that song, Something Fierce. I love that song. I play that song a lot.
Mhm.
That sounds like something your mama and daddy would have been grooving to in the kitchen. And you sitting over there talking some, ew, y'all kids. Baby, that sounds like love. Oh my God. Like, I like is so good. Dimple. I ride so hard for Dimple. It's insane. I love that song. The vocal line ate that down. It's such a why there's not a music video for Dimple, I will forever be upset. I will forever be
Girl,
upset that there is no music video
they
for
didn't
Dimple.
want the world to end. Side note, if you probably don't know this, the great pen of this song is Kim Namjoon himself, and he
Of
wrote it
course.
about himself and his own dimple.
Anyway, moving on. I don't even want to comment on that. I don't even want to comment on that. I'm gonna just move on with maximum power. Just one day. When I was first introduced to BTS's music and I asked somebody for a list of songs, Just
Mhm.
One Day was probably the song that made me turn my head the most. And then hearing the story behind Just One Day, I was like, this is the most encouraging song I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It feels like encouragement in a bottle. Just One Day is such a spectacular song. It's spectacular. Um, and then Coffee. I love Coffee. Coffee is one of my jams. That was already on my list. So when you said I would have, when you said coffee, I was like, yeah, I'm there with you. I love coffee. Um, and then not today, which is so funny that
No,
you
not
you had
today.
Spring
Mm-mm.
Day on our list, but I had not today downloaded on my playlist already because it was a part of the original list of songs I had been recommended by. But I love
Mhm.
that song. But that's my list. I truly man, if I had to have like a top three, I could afford a
Three.
top three. It would definitely be Like Dimple and probably Blue and Gray. As much as I love Butter, Butter's in a league of its own. Nobody will ever touch Butter. But Like Dimple and Blue and Gray, those songs probably spoke the most to me. Maybe honorable mention Rain. Yeah, because I really, really fool with that song. But yeah, I love those.
Question for you, because we always talk about like their debut songs, right?
Hmm.
And from the debut era, if you would have met BTS through their debut song, how would you have felt?
No More Dreams.
No More Dreams. If you would have got that's no nothing else. You could have met them in 2019. You could have met them today. But this is the first thing you were given. No More Dreams. Eyeliner to God. Black eyeliner running down. How would you feel?
I wouldn't
And
have
where
taken them seriously. I wouldn't have taken them seriously. I'm not gonna hold you. And I'm not gonna hold you. I will be completely honest. I feel a lot of it is because I'm black. Not gonna hold
mm,
you. Because I am black, if I had been introduced to them through No More Dreams, I would not have taken them seriously because it don't feel serious at all. It don't. I'm not saying nothing against them. I'm not saying that it's not good. I just didn't take it seriously. And I remember the first time I saw the music video itself, I didn't take it seriously. It They definitely grew from that. They grew from that. Not gonna hold you. They grew from that. And that's not to say that that is a stain on hip hop being a part of their foundation. I feel like they learned to do hip hop better, and they
hmm
learned to do hip hop from a deeper place. Because, like
They
I
didn't
said
cosplay
before,
hip hop anymore. They were cosplaying it.
yeah,
They
let's
were
let's just talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna
It was
call a thing a thing. Cause I am
yeah,
Army. They were
yeah.
cosplaying hip hop. They thought big chains, black. I don't remember. I don't know what was going on with their hair, and I don't understand why they had the eyeliner because we didn't
Everybody
do
did
that. No,
eyeliner back in the days.
I know, but I'm saying hip hop rappers weren't wearing
Yeah, rappers
eyeliner.
don't.
So
No, we
why
don't.
were we mixing and matching rock star aesthetics with hip hop aesthetics?
I think
Confused.
I think it could also, and this is just from an outsider's perspective, looking in an inference, not a fact, is that being a foreshadowing of trying to feel it in them and have a personality in it.
Mm,
Like they understand that this is what they're supposed to be as a group, and they respect it enough to go along with the thing. But also, how does that tie into?
yeah,
And
your
at the
identity.
time, just off face value, during that time, everybody wore eyeliner. It was the thing, da da da. But maybe they thought at that point it could be their mark in hip hop. How are we going to be us in this? Because
What is
they didn't
our
make the
color of
group.
hip
The
hop
group
gonna
was made
be?
it for them.
Yeah,
Correct. Because they didn't make the group. The group
yeah,
was made for them. They were pieces put into place.
right.
But how does this fit into me? How can
Mm,
I find a place in it? Because no matter what you love or how you care or what you admire, you gonna have to find some you in it or it ain't gonna stick. It only sticks when it relates to you. That's it.
hmm
And that's a fact. So I feel like maybe that was a foreshadowing of them even at the beginning. The beginning, trying to figure out how do I still look like me in this? How do I still put some me in this? And maybe right now it's just eyeliner. Maybe that's
Yeah.
all I can come up with until later on. So that's how I feel. Uh, Here's our favorite question that you want to ask you question.
Mm,
Um, if you could take a B side of their list, of any list, and make it a title track, which B side would you have made a title track? And do you feel like that would have changed the narrative, the story, the design of the album, the group, the message, any of that? If you could take a B side and make it a title track, which one would you have done and what would it have possibly changed, if anything?
I have so many that I would have chosen.
So many.
Yeah, yeah, because I've been here for a very long time. Um, But if I could have chose, I would chose House of Cards as a title track.
Mm.
And the reason why I would have chose House of Cards as one of their title tracks is because it would have took the hip hop stigma off of them sooner
Mm.
and let them be known as musicians who love music and that can dibble and dabble in a little bit of everything. It would have also let people know that they are amazing storytellers.
Mm.
Um, it would have also like people sleep on the vocal line. A lot of the times when people mention BTS because they are a hip hop group, we're always talking, especially earlier BTS. We're
Mm.
constantly rap line, rap line, rap line, rap line. They rap, rap. We know they rap. Rappers rap. That's what rappers do. Um, but House of Cards, the vocal line showed their ass, like in the most respectable way possible. Um, we always talk about singers and them using their voice and not just letting sound come out. If I could pick, like, Jimin's emotional storytelling is Chef's Kiss and
Mm.
House of Cards. I believe that he was about to run off after his lover. I
Mm.
like it's the way he tells the story with his voice, and you can hear it even if you don't know what the lyrics are, because most of this song is in Korean.
Mm.
So you have to just literally depend on the color of their voices when the breaks happen to get the story if you're not like somebody who is truly like me looking up the lyrical translations and all of this stuff. But House of Cards would have definitely been it. And like I said, it would have gave them, we're not just hip hop, our vocalists can vocalize and we are amazing storytellers.
I love that. I
What
love
about
that.
you?
So, in theme with the question you just asked me with No More Dreams, how surprised was I to find out while I was doing all of this that Like and No More Dreams were on the same album? I did. I really did. I had never felt so bamboozled in my entire life. Because
Oh
mind you,
God, please,
I
please.
didn't I never look at that. I never looked at the albums. I think the only album I actually looked at was Just One Day when I first
Hmm.
was looking into them because I really liked a lot of songs specifically from that album. And nine times out of ten, when I see I like more than two or more, like at least three or more songs from one album, I'm like, I know I'm gonna like this album. I might as well just go ahead and be done. Come to find out,
Foo
Like
Foo
and
for
No More
school.
Dreams were on the same album. So I'm gonna just go ahead.
Why the
I would
hell?
have
What?
I would have made Like the title track instead
Yeah.
of No More Dreams. I'm sorry, I would have. Exactly for what I said. Hip hop is black culture. Let's
Hmm.
call a spade a spade. Your target audience, nine times out of ten, whether you want it to be or not, is us. I didn't take them seriously with No More Dreams, but baby, let me tell you something. That light comes on. Mind you, let's take my absolute bamboozled mind back a tad. Imagine my surprise when I find out that Like was on the same album as No More Dreams and this their first album,
Yeah.
2013. Y'all sounded like that on Like at the beginning. That's what they vocalized sounded like at the beginning? Fuck
Yeah.
out of here, bro. Get out. Get out.
Go home, Roger.
Go home, Roger. That's what you When I tell
Mhm.
y'all I love like something bad, I love like something bad. The amount of times I will go back to this song. On it,
Mm, mm, mm,
a
mm, mm.
pretty
Pretty
woman, a
woman,
pretty
pretty
woman.
woman,
Don't wanna.
gonna be cool. Listen to me. I would have
I'm
walked them down myself. Walk down, walk down. And guess what? If one of y'all would have turned me down, I would have walked your buddy down too. I would have went through the
oh
lineup,
boy. You talk
walked
about
down.
you talk about hitting that Chris Brown. Excuse me, miss. I saw it from. I would have walked them down. Do you hear me? Mind you, call me crazy. If Like had been the title track instead of No More Dreams, Like would have been their replay.
And we've been
Like
looking
is
for
such Like is such a timeless, classic, nostalgic song. It's got that tone,
it.
that groove, that feel that stands the test of time. If Like had been the title track instead of No More Dreams, that would have been their replay. Because mind you, when Shiny released Replay, they didn't know that Replay was going to be their replay.
Right.
And honestly, neither did the industry at that point. They
They
didn't know
could have.
Replay was going to be the thing we stuck to and clung to. Baby, let me
Right.
tell you something about Like. When I tell you stuck like that song got me. That song, when I heard that song for the first time, I didn't know who the hell it was by. I looked up and seen BTS. I said, BTS who?
Not the ones
BTS
I
who? Not the ones not the ones y'all keep
know.
telling me to listen to. And mind you, I stumbled upon Light through TikTok. Baby, I downloaded that song and I played it from beginning to end. I said, hey, yo. Hey, yo, I like this. So yeah, ooh, shit, if Light had been, oh God. Imagine me, Trin, imagine having gotten a music video for Light where they was walking somebody down the street. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm giggling, kicking my feet right now just thinking about it. Oh boy. Yeah, that would have been it. Do I feel it would have changed their tone? I think it may have matured the idea of them faster. Because Like is a comes off as very mature in conjunction to No More Dreams.
And it wouldn't have been rebellious either.
It wouldn't have
So,
been rebellious, no, but it still would have been honest.
hmm
And I feel like as much as rebellion is a part of them, you can be rebellious without it not being able to be taken seriously. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't take No More Dreams seriously.
yeah.
I don't. But I feel like although it would have changed the tone, you could have grown up from it.
hmm
Not saying they didn't grow up from No More Dreams because they damn sure did.
Glowed
But
up.
I feel like Light may have set the tone a little bit better to grow up from.
hmm
And maybe a lot of the course correction that they needed could have been avoided. Maybe. Because the tone of your entry is different. So your walk
I get
then
that.
in turn gets different.
I get
And
that.
maybe as much, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have needed everything that they went through. God bless all of it. But maybe as much course correcting in the group they were supposed to be, which is a hip hop group, wouldn't have needed to happen. Because mind you, hip hop is not just chains, jerseys, and everything else. Hip hop is also very light. Like to me felt more hip hop than No More Dreams because it has soul, depth, awareness, and that is actually hip hop. Hip hop is not just the black aesthetic in whatever you feel is trending or stereotypical about it. It's depth, it's intellect, it's emotional, it's feeling. There's soul to it because soul is at the baseline of anything you could ever get from black culture. I get more of that hearing Like than I do than No More Dreams or anything else. So I stand by that one. If I had got mm, it feels so good when I talk about it. But yeah, so that's that. Now let's talk about something else. With journeys and groups and dynamics, and we've talked a lot about them because they definitely had a journey. You can look at them and tell that's all face
Yeah.
value. Where do you feel was the shift in BTS where they went from not proving to owning? We don't got nothing to prove to y'all no more. We own who we are. We own our sound. We own what we're doing. We own where we're going. And we, because I know you mentioned before that they never really got that acceptance, and it was very noticeable and shown. But where do you feel like maybe they were no longer seeking external acceptance? They were more so seeking an acceptance within themselves, and it shone through their music. And that's when things started to shift for them as a whole, if that makes sense.
Wings, wings. They were done. I feel like they were like, you know what? If we're gonna do this, we're not gonna try to fit into nowhere else. We're just gonna do us. We're gonna talk about what we want to talk about. We're not gonna try to tailor ourselves because trying to tailor their self, which they ended up trying to do, did not work for them. It kind of made them more popular in South Korea, but I could tell that, and again, I'm just me, um, it didn't work for them. And that's when we got wings. And baby, they said, take off your rose colored glasses, baby. This is all of us. This either we're gonna shock you so much that you don't want to look at it, or you're gonna be so fascinated that you have no choice but to recognize what we're saying and the talent that's here. They also feel like, because again, this is the era that I came into BTS. So I just thought, damn, they got money, they got budgets, and they got somebody who needs to be writing movie scripts or scoring movies. And then to get in, see what's going on, the Black Swan references, the like all of the literature references in the music videos, the songs, and I'm like, what the hell is going, like these people are wild in the best way, in the best artistic way. And then to see everything that they went through before, I'm like, this is why it's pushing so hard over here. Because at that time we weren't seeing artists like this. So wings for me.
I love that. Um, honestly, same wings. And I didn't come in at any point. I've kind of just seen them from all angles. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen the debut. I've seen the early stuff. I've seen their current stuff. I've seen their latest stuff. I've seen their most popular stuff. I've seen every aspect of them. I don't think I ever actually wanted to look into them musically until our recent Spotlight and Color, where you, with your brilliant writing mind, designed our outline, and we were going to be covering BTS's Wings, and we were talking about art and grief and how they coexist and things of that nature, and artistic expression through grief and through troubles and different things like that. I have never been more intellectually invested in a body of work in K-pop music as I was when I started looking at some of the solo tracks for Wings. Um, Getting the backstory and all the literary elements, because honestly, literature is one of my first loves. I've loved literature since I was a child. I love um, the art of stringing together words to encompass a feeling, a sound, or an embodiment of some sort and putting it to paper.
Yeah.
Our ability as humans to be able to convey feelings, emotions, thoughts that you don't, as a person that can feel, see, hear these things, don't know how to put together, and then somebody does, and it speaks to you. To be seen is to be loved. I believe that wholeheartedly. And to be seen. I feel This is the most to be seen piece of work I've ever seen in my life. To be honest, the wings shift that BTS cultivated and did and went through was vulnerable, honest, and I even said it on our live on TikTok. It felt very Wizard of Oz to me. And Wizard of Oz is one of, for me, the most monumental films in film history. But the story of the Wizard of Oz, you get there. And this
Mm-hmm.
being that's so bigger and more than life, and just they can accomplish anything and he can make anything happen. And you do
It's
all
all
these
alive.
things and you get there and it's all a lie and you pull back the curtain. And I don't know so much if it's a lie, it's just a man.
Mm.
And to be honest, we give the wizard more credit than he deserves. The lie isn't in the wizard, the lie is in the people. They told him what they expected of him, and all he did was try to live up to it to the best of his abilities. And if you truly pay attention to that, in every story that's ever been told on The Wizard of Oz, it's the same narrative. The people told me this is who I was, so I did what they asked.
And I love that you said that because also during Wings, it feels like they stopped trying to be inside other people's world and they built their own world. And it was
Correct.
like, you gonna sit here, you come in or go away.
Correct.
You're mine. You're
Ah,
mine.
thank you. So when I was going through Wings, I kept thinking about the Wizard of Oz, and I kept thinking about the wizard because they get to the end and they're like, "Oh, you lied. You said this, you said that," and he's like, "I'm only doing what I've been doing because this is what they told me I was supposed to do."
Mm.
In every single storytelling of the Wizard of Oz, it's the same narrative. I became what they expected of me, and then when you pulled back the curtain, you pulled it back and you called me the lie.
Mm.
It ain't me. I'm doing
It's
what was
y'all.
expected. It's them. And I
You
feel
built
that
me up to be
that
bigger than life.
you built me up to be bigger than life. You set these expectations of me. I'm just trying to live up to what you expect of me. And then when you pull the covers back and you see that I am just a man, or in their case, we just kids trying to figure out how to go through puberty without y'all sticking a spotlight on us every 5 seconds. We trying to just do life without it always being the front page of the news or up for debate or up for discussion or at the forefront of everybody's mind. Hey, yo, bro, when you
I'm
pull
just a
back the
young man that's
curtain,
trying to go from
I'm
a boy to a man. Like
come
literally,
on,
I'm just
come
trying
on,
to evolve in
come
life
on.
like I'm supposed to. And y'all, oh, and then
I'm
y'all
telling
not
you,
respecting,
correct.
not
And I tell you
respecting.
all the time, RM got my heart something serious. Reflection broke me.
Broke you down. I
It,
remember.
oh my God, it broke me because to be so self-aware is some of the scariest feelings you'll ever feel as an individual. I am very self-aware and I am an enemy to my own mind a lot of times. I am. I own that. I'm an enemy to my own mind. I will be stagnant. I won't move because I'm too aware. I notice too much. I
You
feel
scared
too much.
yourself.
I scare myself. Imagine I can't be an RM and you feel these as a young man. You are also now the leader of six other people. And you also trying to build this company, build this discography, build this group up to these dreams you had. These have always been your dreams.
Hmm.
And now everything is up for criticism, up for debate, and you just trying to get through it as best as possible, and you feel like you dying on this. And now I'm finna tell y'all. Now I'm finna tell y'all about it. Now I'm finna tell y'all how I really feel. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I honestly don't blame you. Had I came into K-pop during Wings, I would have been sold on BTS just off Wings alone. That
Yeah.
was the shift in me, just as a music consumer, to want to dig into this body of work.
Yeah.
Wings specifically gonna have to see me, gonna have to, and then all the literary elements to it.
He's a
I am
fucking
intrigued by that
genius.
in itself.
Come on,
Yeah,
come
that
on,
was
say
it for me. That was it for me. I feel like they owned. themselves with wings. They
Yeah,
they they took BTS back for sure. Like I get what we were supposed to be. I get what y'all may be thinking of us. I get what y'all may be expecting. I get what your expectations may be. Nah, this is where we own us from here on out. And I feel like more good things started to happen around the Wings era and after the Wings era, in my personal opinion, just from the outside
I
looking
think
in.
so too.
Yeah.